Today we're gonna make Tech House sound design. Yo, what's up guys, welcome to a new video. My name is Wildcrow and today we're gonna make Tech House bass lines and Tech House lead sounds. We're gonna use Serum for this, but if you use another plugin, don't worry, there's no problem. Just check what wavetables, LFOs and all these things that they do in Serum, and then if you use Vital, do it on Vital, do it on Silent or whatever plugin you use. So don't wait more, let's get to it, but remember to leave a like and subscribe, you know, this way for the algorithm to help me, this video grows, I can get motivated, so I make more videos and all these things. And also because more than 50% of people that watch my videos is not subscribed, so if you watch my videos, subscribe, this way you don't miss anything and I make more videos. So we're gonna start with the bassline. The fourth bassline is the best one, but not skip to that one because the other ones are super important too. We have here the init preset of Serum and this bassline. This doesn't sound as a bass at all. The first thing we're gonna do is change this to basic shapes and we're gonna put the square one. As you can hear now, we're starting to have a sub bass, and then we're gonna also use the oscillator B, but one octave higher. This way we cover more frequencies. As you can see, this is starting to sound like a bassline, but not like a Tech House bassline. The trick here is to use filters. We're gonna enable the filter on both oscillators, of course, maybe the 18, and do something like this. Of course, now it's just like a sub bass. So the trick here is to use one envelope. For example, this one, we're gonna send it here, not that much, something like this, and reduce the sustain. As you can hear now, it's starting to sound like Tech House. Now let's go to effects, apply some distortion. Let's use the pre, enable more distortion so we can hear everything, and let's try to find a sweet spot. Maybe here, but of course not that much. Maybe like this. Yeah, after this we're gonna use another filter and we're gonna send this here also, but only on one side. So click Shift, Alt and click, is only on one side, and just a little bit. Maybe change the type of distortion. Yeah, this one is better, not that much. We can also control the mix of the distortion like this. This way we add more movement to it. And the last thing is that if you want to add a bit more bass sound, just use an EQ and boost it here. The last thing I'm gonna do on this bassline is to take this envelope and send it here. I want a bit more attack, so Shift, Alt, click, only one side, reduce the sustain, and a really short decay. So let's test this bass now in a loop. Sounds quite good. And now from here what we can do is to start touching this one to create a mid bass. So to create this mid bass, what I'm gonna do is maybe put more voices here, not that much to tune it, like this, maybe increase the blend, so this way we give more speed to this one, things like this, maybe add a bit more resonance. And I want to open more the filter, but what I'm gonna do is use a macro. I'm gonna send this here, and also we need to send it to this filter here, only on one side, so this way now we can automate it, maybe leave it here. But as this is gonna be a mid bass and we want to mix it with the first bass line, we're gonna go here to the EQ and we're gonna take out the sub bass. But as you can see, it's so long, so what I'm gonna do is reduce the sustain and maybe reduce also the decay. Together with the first bass line. And in the loop. Yeah, Wildcrow, this sounds so nice, but I want a really deep and punchy bassline that hits your chest. Okay, let's do it. This one is gonna be so basic, just change this to basic shapes, sine wave. As we want some attack, we're gonna send this envelope to here, only on one side, and just like this, really short. We're gonna use a filter, maybe you say, why if this already sounds like bass, because then we're gonna distort it, just use a little bit the cutoff, apply more drive and maybe no resonance, and of course send this envelope here, so this way we open and close. And just now, effects, distortion, we're gonna put some hard clip, apply a lot of distortion, maybe pre. But now, what I'm gonna do is reduce a bit the sustain, it's a bit more plucky, and maybe increase a bit the decay. So this way, when we make it longer, has a lot of movement like boom, going down. But basically this is the sound, so let's test it here. And now let's go to the fourth bassline that for me is the more interesting and that has more character. This one is gonna be a mid bass. What we're gonna do is have two saw, and now it's gonna sound like this. So boring. But the trick here comes here with the semitones. We're gonna put these 7 semitones higher. enable a filter, maybe this time more steep, like this. Envelope 2, send it here, make it shorter. Yeah. Then if you want to, just some distortion. And as this is gonna be a mid bass, EQ and reduce a little bit here. So it's where we can mix it, for example, with the previous one. Nice. So right now we have 4 tech house sounds, 2 for the sub bass and 2 for the mid bass. As you can see, the common thing in all of them is the filter. To have a filter that you open with an envelope, this way you create this kind of plucky bassline sound and this kind of movement that it has. But now let's go to the leads. On the leads, every lead is gonna be completely different, but all of them have really common things, that is LFOs. So basically what I'm gonna show you is how to use these LFOs to get this kind of tech house sound. I'm gonna make a basic lead, 2 oscillators, more voices, reduce a little bit the attunement. I'm gonna use a common thing in hardstyle. I'm gonna send this LFO here to the fine on both, and now it's gonna sound like this. Not nice, but I'm gonna increase this to 64, 128. 64, but not that much. But again, what's the common thing on tech house? Filters. So let's enable the filter on both oscillators, reduce this a little bit, maybe a bit more resonance and a bit more drive. Right now we don't hear anything. So we're gonna control it, but not with an envelope. This time we're gonna use an LFO. We're gonna send this here, just leave it like this, and what we're gonna do is do this. Now as you can see, we open the filter but in a loop. With an envelope it will be just one time, but with LFO you're looping it. So now what we're gonna do is take out the BPM, and as you can see now, this is the common thing on tech house, right? So that's what we're gonna do. To control this, you can just automate this, but it's so annoying. So what we're gonna do is use an envelope. We're gonna send it here, and right now it's gonna be so fast and all the time there. So let's reduce the sustain. This is so quick, so let's make this longer. And before doing another really cool thing, let me add some reverb so it sounds a bit cooler. Just some reverb like this, maybe reduce the sub bass. And now what we're gonna do is go to Matrix. We're gonna click here, we're gonna choose LFO3, the LFO that is not used. Click here, Global Master Tuning. Right now, if we play it, there's no difference. We need to move this. As you can see, we're controlling the pitch. 1 octave, I don't really know why, is 19 here. And right now, it goes up and down. What we're gonna do is move this to maybe 2 bars. So it's like this. If you see that maybe it doesn't really fit the grid, you need to touch this decay here. For example, if we put it here, as you can see, it doesn't really fit the grid. So just touch it where it was, it's nice. So let's test it now with the drums and with 2 bass lines. So guys, as you can see, it's so easy to make this kind of LFO tricks that the house sounds have. Then from here, just change the wavetable, maybe change a little bit the filter, add more distortion, less distortion, change the LFOs a little bit. So it's where you can get a different sound, you know, maybe this kind of, you can make it different, maybe like, whatever. So guys, nothing else. I hope this video helped you. Leave me down below in the comments another kind of sound design videos you want me to do. For example, I made hardstyle, progressive house, now tech house. So if you want another sound design videos, you can also go and watch those videos that they did. And nothing else. Remember to leave a like and subscribe to don't miss any video and for the algorithm and those things. Thank you so much for watching and see you in the next video.